I'll never forget the way people of this state showed up for each other during these consequential times. I don't think anyone should be allowed to forget. And that's why recently I signed an executive order establishing the Governor's Council to document the impact of Operation Metro Surge, not just the trauma, but the redemptive stories of Minnesotans who come together to support one another and advocate peacefully for their neighbors. I want to close with just one of those stories that came to my attention. It comes from a Minnesotan I've never met. He calls himself Norm. I don't know if that's his name. I follow him on social media because he's usually talking about sports. But he's also been working in his community to help families who have loved ones abducted during the occupation of Minnesota, raising funds online to help those families stay in their homes despite the loss of their breadwinners. And last week, ICE released one such person from a facility in South Texas. That's good news. The bad news is they released them without any cash, any ID, or any way to get home. So Norm spent the day trying to figure out how to get money to a total stranger to buy a bus ticket to get them home. Then he realized very difficult to get home on Greyhound from South Texas. So eventually Norm decided he'd take matters into his own hands. He bought a ticket on the night's last flight out to Austin. He rented a car. He drove in the rain to pick up a fellow Minnesotan near midnight outside a gas station in some random town in Texas. Paid for a hotel so they stayed overnight. In the morning, Norm took his new friend to Walmart, bought him some new clothes, bought a round of breakfast tacos before flying him back to Minnesota so he could be reunited with his family, including a new baby. On the drive home, Norm wrote online, he said this. He said he got taken in the winter and now it's summer. Every year around this time, Minnesotans watch the last of the snow melting and realize that brighter days are right around the corner. There will be Twins baseball, maybe even good Twins baseball, to build on a great Lynx season. There'll be fishing and boating on the lakes. There'll be the Great Minnesota Get-Together, and summer is just around the corner. This winter has been particularly cold and bitter for so many of our neighbors, but we're ready to move beyond this season of grief. We're never going to forget those that we lost, and neither will we forget that we found to be true about ourselves and our neighbors, that we are strong, we are resilient, we are generous, we are compassionate, and we're in this thing together. Our work in St. Paul right here is simply to make our state a place worthy of the incredible people who live in this state. For 7 years, we've been doing that together. We've got one more chance to do it again, so let's get to work.